All right, shalom, shalom. As always, we want to give all praise to the Most High Yahweh, and we do so by Shema Mashiach Yahawashi. That's in the name of who the world calls Jesus Christ. Brother Azan
is the brother Azariah,
and back with another one. Going to just kind of go through the spirit. Go ahead and get that revelation.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 10.
Uh-huh.
And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have testimony of Jesus. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
Right. So when John the Revelator, right, when he was in this particular vision, if you will, he was, in direct contact with this angel, and he said, worship me not, right? I'm of thy brethren who have that testimony. Read it one more time. I butchered it. My bad.
You good. Revelation 19 and 10, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren
right? Go ahead.
That have the testimony of Jesus.
That have the testimony of Yahawashi, read.
Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy.
Right, the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. And that's what brothers bring out when it comes to basically going into the prophecies, right? Being a prophet, right? Which Paul said, get that in 1 Corinthians 12. When it talks about the different spiritual gifts, right? That spiritual gift of prophecy, that's the highest level gift, right? He said to covet to prophesy, right? To desire to prophesy. Get that last verse. Or if you want to jump up, if it's higher.
Is it 12?
Yeah, start at verse.
Oh, right here, 10. It's 12 and 10.
You can get that. Yeah, get it.
Okay. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 10. To another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another interpretation of tongues. Verse 11. But all these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will.
So the point that Paul's making in this chapter, right, when it comes to this body of Christ, right, Yahawashi, there's going to be different spiritual gifts. Not every brother's going to have the same amount or the same spiritual gift. You know, some will have that gift of prophecy, right? Some will have speaking in tongues, right? And it goes into it. What's another one? Healings, right? Get that in verse 28.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 28. And God hath sent some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healing, helps, governments, diversities of tongues.
Read.
Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles? Verse 30. Have all gifts of healing? Do all speak with the tongues? Do all interpret? But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet show I unto you a more excellent way.
Right. Covet earnestly the best gifts. And what's the best gift? Jump to the 14th chapter and get the first verse.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy.
Right, so Paul's making that point to prophesy. That's the highest level of spiritual gift. And brothers would use Revelation 19 and 10 to say that's the spirit of prophecy. That's the testimony of Yahawashi, which I don't got an issue with that. But we want to just kind of use the book of Revelation for one, kind of stay in there a little bit to know what it really means, you know, the testimony of Yahawashi. So get that in Revelation, the 10th chapter. You know, we're not going to dig in deep. We kind of go all over the place. But if you go into the 11th chapter, it goes into those two witnesses. That word for witness and testimony is literally the same Greek word. I could go ahead and verify, but get that in 10 where it talks about the roll.
The roll?
Yeah, it's towards the bottom. I'm gonna make sure these words are the same. That word testimony in Revelation 19:10. Let me know when you're there. But it's that word martyria, right? Looks similar to martyr, right? To being a martyr. And that goes into testifying, one who testifies, testimony, right, before a judge. So I'm gonna go into Revelation 11. But you there in the 10th chapter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, get that part where he talks about eating that roll and it was bitter. It's towards the bottom.
Okay. I'm trying to find it. Oh, okay. It's you want me just to get to the point?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Revelation chapter 10 and verse 10. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter.
So we're gonna read on, but this right here, this is a prelude to the witnesses, right? In order to be a witness, you're gonna be doing you're gonna go through this process right here. Go ahead.
Verse 11, and he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings.
It says you should what? You should, what's it say?
Prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings.
Right. So this is something that the witnesses are going to do, right? So in Revelation 11, it talks about those witnesses, right? They're going to go through what John the Revelator was experiencing right there in the 10th chapter, which that word, the reason why we're going here is because it's the same word damn near. Witness, Strong's G 144, right? That goes into witness, all right? You could go into the definition of the word, but we're just focusing on what that word is, right? In Revelation 19 and 10 is Strong's G 141, G 3 141. So it's damn near the same word, right?
Yeah.
It's damn near the same word from this right here. Brothers could look it up on their own time, but just wanted to make that point. We want to use Revelation to prove what that testimony of Yahawashi is. So you're going to be prophesying, right? You're going to be eating the whole roll, right? So with that being said, we're going to go into the book now. Now we're going to go into the book. Lord willing, we have that testimony of Yahawashi, right? Get Psalms 40 and 8. All right? Yeah, let's get that. Before we actually hold that, I want to get another scripture before we go there. Because doing the will of the Father, that's one and the same with having that testimony of Yahawashi. I don't think anybody would disagree with that, right? So let's get, I just was holding it. Get Mark 3 and 33. I think it's in Matthew 12 as well. Actually, get Matthew 12. I want to stay in the first eyewitness, As much love I got for Mark and Luke. I like to start off at least in Matthew 12 and verse 40. Just get to the point in verse 50. Let me see. Yeah, just start off. Yeah.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 12, and verse 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
So Christ said that. We can start off higher, but at the end of the day, he was pointing at his disciples, right? And he said, whosoever shall do the will of my Father, that's my mother, my sister, my brethren. I was just meditating on that the other day. That's through the Spirit, because just brothers that you camp with, of course, you're going to have, a certain camaraderie, amongst the brothers. And it's like, it's really like a family. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to just, overall rebuke, you know what I'm saying? You counsel, you get that from your brothers, That doesn't mean that everyone outside of the brothers you're camping with, that's just not even the brethren. That's how some brothers really think. You know what I'm saying? Only the brothers you're camping with, that's my brethren. You know what I'm saying? Everyone else is like, I don't gotta love them. No, that Christ was not saying that, right? But we brought that out just to go into doing the will of our Father. That's the testimony of Yahawashi. Yahawashi said it right here. So now, yeah, let's get that in Psalms.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 40 and verse 8. I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yeah, thy law is within my heart.
So doing the will of the Most High, Yahweh, all right, that includes having that law, right? Doing the will of our Father, ultimately, we know the elect are going to do the will of the Father. And what's the elect are going to be? Hey, we're going to be keeping the law. Lord, we don't be those men. Don't want to just count ourselves in a number, but the elect will be keeping the law, right? So, Con, with that being said, don't want to jump the gun, but it just want to be a quick one. Get that in Romans 13, I believe, in verse 10.
What are you trying to get?
You'll know when you see it.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Uh-huh.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
Right, so Paul made that point, right, that love is the fulfilling of the law. Why is that? You get that in Matthew 22, right? You're talking about that agape, that charity. That's something that ultimately you're going to need to get into the kingdom, right? It says love is the fulfilling of the law. Love makes the law complete. Start 36 through 40.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? And Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
On these two commandments. So loving the Most High with our whole heart, soul, and might, and loving our neighbor as ourselves, all right, according to Christ, amen, that hangs all the law and the prophets. That was it on that, right? Get 1 Corinthians 13. We'll get that. We'll get a couple more. We'll close out. You know, we'll make this too long, right? But that's just a quick point because we're talking about, you know, having that testimony of Yahawashi. That's the spirit of prophecy, right? But going further than that, right? Because we're talking about spiritual gifts. We'll actually bring it full circle because we're actually in 1 Corinthians 13, right? We already read in the 12th chapter. That's where it talks about those spiritual gifts, right? Chapter 14 and verse 1 talks about coveting to prophesy. Actually, get that again. Then we'll jump back.
Okay, what was that? 14
and 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, rather that ye may prophesy.
Right. So some brothers, they might actually think that Paul was saying that it's better to have the spirit of prophecy than to have charity, which is that love, right? He wasn't saying that, right? And if you think he was saying that, I mean, you haven't been reading. You need to refresh yourself. Go back to the 13th chapter. And let me see. Really, this whole chapter, I advise brothers, this is the breakdown of what love is, which fulfills the law, right? But start at verse 4.
4?
Actually,
I was going to say you can start at 1. Maybe?
Yeah, go ahead, man. You in the spirit. Go ahead.
Okay. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal.
Right. So you just noise. If you don't have charity, right, you could speak with the tongues of men and angels. That's talking about the spiritual gift, right? Of speaking in tongues, right? You could be super eloquent in speech, you know, but you don't have charity, you just noise out here, man. Read.
Verse 2. And though I have the gift of prophecy,
the gift of what?
Prophecy, and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing.
Paul said it right here. I am nothing, right? If you have that gift of prophecy, which is the highest level spiritual gift, right? Which brothers would say, you know, that's the testimony of Yahawashi. That's fine and all, but Paul right here, he's saying if you have the gift of prophecy and don't have charity, then I'm nothing, right? Jump to verse 4.
Verse 4. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself. It is not puffed up.
Jump to verse 7. This is all, again, talking about that love, right?
1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Beareth all things and believe all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things.
Endureth all things. Hold that, because we're going to go jump back there. Get Matthew 24. I want to say it's verse 7, right? Because that goes back into that testimony of Yahawashi, right?
No, it's not verse 7.
You know what I'm talking about? Endure to the end. Might be 13. Let me see. Yeah, get it 13. You can start at verse 12, actually.
In what? Matthew
24 and 12.
24 and 12? This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. And became iniquity, Slakia, red letter. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Right, so it says the love of many shall wax cold. Read.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Right, so we just read in 1 Corinthians 13 that love endures all things. Christ is saying that here that he that endures unto the end shall be saved. So what do you need? You need that charity to truly endure all things, man. To truly endure unto the end. And that means that you're the elect. So that's just that point right there. Lord willing, it can be received, right? We're going to need that trait of love, right, towards the Most High and towards our neighbor. That's not only the brothers you're camping with, that's every single Israelite. You got to have that love that Christ had, right? He said that 2 times that I remember. It could be more. But it's literally two times that he said it verbatim. This is my commandment, to love one another that like I have loved you. We could get that. That's a high level scriptures. Point in not getting that one. John 15 and 34. I'm just double checking because, I'm rusty, boy.
Nah, not 15.
But, get John 13. Yeah, it's 13 and 34.
Yeah, it is. This is the book of St. John, chapter 13 and verse 34. A red letter. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, and that ye also love one another.
Read.
By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye love one to another.
Right, that's through the Spirit, because we brought out in Matthew 12, right? He pointed at his disciples and said, these are the ones who are my mother and my brethren, because they're doing the will of my Father. And he's saying it right here that you are my disciples if you have that love one towards another. So you can't just act like that love, charity, that's just something that, yeah, love, I get it. Nah, you want to really make sure you keeping that commandment. That's the greatest commandment. Liken unto the greatest commandment, to love one another. So from here, yeah, let's go ahead and get a couple more. Before we jump back to 1 Corinthians. Well, actually, yeah, go ahead and get that. And then we'll end off it. Yeah.
Okay. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 8. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away.
Right. So eventually, things that we're talking about in the prophecies, right? Things that are still, hey, we're in a time of prophecy, right? We see what's going on, right? Upwards of the people in the world, rumors of wars. These are all things that are happening as we speak and are going to happen. But guess what? After that comes to pass, then what? Right? Hey,
those prophecies are fulfilled. There's no
more
prophecies.
No more, exactly, brother. You know what I'm saying? But it says charity never fails, right? Get to the last verse. Well, actually, yeah, just get that real quick and then we'll move on.
Verse 13?
13, yeah.
Okay. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 13. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity.
So faith, we know it's impossible to please him without that faith. We need that faith, right? That hope. We need to be hopeful too. We the hopeful elect, as some brothers would say, right? But charity, that's the greatest one right there, man. Right? if you're the elect, we're gonna end off there. Get that Colossians 3, 12 through 14, right? And then we'll probably close out there. But you know, a brother did a video a while ago on the testimony of Yahawashi, and you know, he didn't agree with the breakdown, and I kind of get it. I understand, brothers. At the end of the day, you don't have to agree on every single breakdown. You know what I'm saying? But if you have that love for one another, like we're going into, right? If you're truly keeping that law, hey man, yeah, you just go ahead and let the scripture speak.
This is the book of, you said Colossians?
Yeah, Colossians. That's a good one too, though.
My bad. You said 1 and 3 and 1?
Yeah. 12 through 14.
This is the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. Put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, also do ye.
So like we mentioned, this is something that Christ, he had that love he had a love towards the whole nation of Israel, where he died for the whole nation of Israel, right? That's the type of love that we need to have, right? In order to be a true follower of who the world calls Christ. This is how you put on as the elect. Go ahead.
Verse 14, and above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness.
Right. So above all these things, that's what we need to have, man. That's that charity. And ultimately, you know, we have that particular trait. Hey, man, that's ultimately going to lead into the kingdom. You know, the small group of number of brothers, all right, along with any women and children, we got that trait, right? That's going to endure all things. We're going to endure until the end. Hey, man, we got the kingdom now, right? And that's ultimately the spirit of prophecy. But yeah, that was it on that. You know, Lord willing, you know, it would be edifying. With that, all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of Yahawashi, Shalom.
Shalom.
It's your boy, Kawhi, nigga. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Got my new Bible to see if you up. Business, we signing you up. We gon' get busy to see if you tough. Niggas that's sending you ran out of luck. Got my new Bible to see if you up. Business, we signing you up. We gon' get busy to see if you tough. Niggas that's sending you ran out of luck.
So if you live in North America, where is Israel to you right now? What direction?
Back in the days we gods, tell the heathens do they job. Call them Bill or Bob, better race to do your job. Don't be telling me shit, read the Bible, give me the script. Humble, closing my lips, got the breakdown, building the bricks. Hope you reading the list, Gentiles cutting their wrists. Slavery, that's what you get, yeah, how would he never miss? Heathens got me pissed, heathens, yes they rage. They not say with grace, look me in my face. Kingdoms will be slaves, white bitch you behave. Jewish won't be saved, I just read the page. Got my new Bible to see if you up. Business, we signing you up. We gon' get busy to see if you tough. Niggas that's sending you ran out of luck. Got my new Bible to see if you up. Business, we signing you up. We gon' get busy to see if you tough. Niggas that's sending you ran out of luck.
Spin on the block on a motherfucking heathen. Reading the scripture like I'm even Steven. Praises to God, you better believe him. Mo, I flip a ball for pledge of allegiance. Go catch a football like my name is Keenan. Yahawashi, his name is not Jesus. Hearing the gospel had me leaning. Keeping the law, the most high is pleasing. The nations, they know that we with it. They talking down, yeah, they coming against us. We never losing, cause you know that we winning. The heathen bitches, cause they always be sinning. When Jesus come back, he go do some killing. Yeah, we on track. The kingdom of mission like Kodak Black. Yeah, I am a menace. We catching the line, we throwing the fish.
Yeah, running it up, we run it, you run out of luck. Don't got a red book, running them up. Now he don't get no fucks. Go ahead, let him cook. Chef in the pot, bringing it down to the block. I know that it's heat if Kawasi is hot. Shot on my yacht, pull up to the spot. Let go. Yeah, treat every day like a holy day.